Hey yo, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben. I'm a life coach who helps purpose-driven achievers do the work that they want to in the world. I want to help you use your superpower because you do have one. I want to help you do the work that you want to in the world and create personal freedom. Using your superpower, sharing that, and designing your life around that thing is how you achieve personal success and freedom, whatever those things look like to you. So today we are talking about people pleasing. One of my favorite topics, not because it's exciting that we are people pleasers, that you are a people pleaser, but because it's so impactful. I actually was inspired to do this video today, specifically because I talked to two of my clients today about people pleasing and how it has affected them in their journeys. So specifically, we're talking about why people pleasing, it's truly your kryptonite. It really is. And so if you, maybe you know what people pleasing is, maybe you're very aware that this is something you do or a tendency that you have, and maybe you're just kind of figuring this out about yourself, this is huge. So wherever you're at, please, I'm going to make this hopefully informative for you. So stick around because I'm going to go over how this is affecting you, but then also how you can basically detach from that and start to step into your life in a much more empowered way and create a life that you love, to start doing the things that you want to do, to start doing meaningful work, to start making a difference, and to start experiencing joy on a day-to-day basis. These are all things that you are absolutely capable of. I want you to experience it. It's something that I help my clients with each and every day, and I want you to feel it too. So, like I said, first thing we're going through here is understanding. You have to understand where this comes from before you can start to make changes on it. So it's very important that we go through this. First part is, this is rooted in a seemingly, parentheses, noble cause. You just want people to be happy. Is that so bad? Is that so much to ask? Unfortunately, it is very bad. It's not bad on the surface, right? It makes sense. You want people to be happy. You avoid conflict. You try to make sure that people are comfortable around you, that people like you. But what happens is that over time, people don't respect you because of that. And the worst part of this all is that you don't respect you. And it sounds kind of silly or maybe starting to get a little deep and psychological, but we are. That's kind of why we're here. And that's very much part of the equation is respect. People don't respect you, but then you in turn start not respecting yourself. Self-worth is a big piece of the puzzle for people pleasers. Now, getting back to what this looks like is you become a chameleon. Now, in these first two things, you may be thinking to yourself, yeah, Ben, I know that, and I'm pretty proud of it. Guess what? I was there too. I was proud of being a chameleon. By the way, I specifically wrote this in the color red because it was a color change. Clever, right? I'm an idiot. It's all right. You can say it. It feels, this is something that takes, gotta say words in this video. This is something that we take pride in. I'm a chameleon. I can be friends with anybody. I can make anybody feel comfortable. I can be all the things to everyone. The problem is that's not actually good. It's not serving you, and it's actually not serving others. It's really important to understand that it's not actually helping other people. It's making that situation easier. Whatever that box is, whatever that container is, whatever that situation is, it's making that interaction, that time, that space less, it's smoothing it out. It's making it smoother, but it's not making it better. It's really important to understand. And kind of the easiest way to think about this is you look at a couple who, the common thing, right? Like, I'm leaving my dishes in the sink. We'll pretend that this is theoretical. I'm leaving my dishes in the sink and my wife's pissed about it, but she doesn't want to have a fight with me. This is definitely theoretical, not real life. Because she picks a fight with me. She does not want to pick the fight. She's like, okay, I'll just do the dishes, whatever. Does the dishes, everything's fine. She made everybody happy. She made me happy, she's fine, whatever. Next night, do it again. Okay, fast forward 2 years into the relationship. I haven't done a single night of dishes. She's done every night. She hasn't said it. She has made sure that that moment I feel better and that everything's okay. However, now we have a major problem on our hands because she hates my guts. And guess what? That's not easy to reverse. It's not just, oh, hey, I'll do the dishes tonight, babe, and everything's okay. No. And as I said, what's worse is that not only has she not helped me and our relationship, but what she has done is now she resents herself. Now she's incredibly frustrated, yes, with me on the surface, but even deeper than that, she is very upset with herself. Self-loathing is not something that's easy to come back from. She does not respect herself for standing up for what she wants and what she needs. I'm curious, have you felt this at any point in your life? Think about relationships, think about work, friendships. Romantic relationships are a big one for people. Feeling codependent, especially empaths. People who are more sensitive tend to gravitate towards somebody who's a little bit more dominant and assertive or aggressive. So I'm curious for you, is this resonant as something that you've experienced in your life? Because I want you to comment below. You don't have to share details, but it's important to flesh these things out, and I'd love to kind of see what you've gone through and potentially even make a little note of my thoughts in there too, if that's helpful. So what we were just talking about with the example of my wife, again, that's not how things go down, but it's not entirely untrue. I try to do the dishes, guys. I really do, because I know she hates it when I don't. You become disconnected from who you are and what you want. This is the thing, the star. This is the problem. Because if you do not know who you are and what you want, you do on some level, and that's the bright side here, and the thing that we're going to kind of talk about next is this is just so detrimental, because now, and this comes from being a chameleon, the end result is that you are just a ping pong ball now of what everybody else needs and what everybody else wants. The ping pong ball has no say in its direction. It just gets hit. You don't know who you are. If you're bouncing around, how can you possibly do things that you enjoy, that light you up? How can you do a job that you love? How can you find that new person that you really enjoy being with if you're always worried about what other people are going to think? Friends and family can be really detrimental in this regard, but it is not up to them to fix this. You need to pick and choose who's in your life. That's a different video, literally. But you are responsible for setting boundaries and for respecting yourself and for addressing things that need to be addressed, for knowing what you want and who you are at the core. So recognize that you are not what other people think. They do not define you or your worth. You have to conceptually understand that first. When you people please for a long enough period of your life, essentially what happens is you offload your worth to others. You let them decide who you are and what you're worth. And that is shitty, right? Again, yes, we are talking about the thing that sounded noble, that you want to make everybody happy. This is the outcome. You have offloaded your self-worth, okay? Now, it's important to know that. Now, I'm like holding a cap here. I don't even know which marker it's from. It's this one on the ground. You need to get curious about what you want. What do you actually want? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you always know what you want. We all have an intuition. It's there. And this is really, really key. Knowing what you want and being able to act on it foreshadowing is incredibly important here. This is where everything starts to shift, paradigm shifting. Knowing what you want. Get curious about that, and then over time, act on what you want. These last two steps here work in tandem, and this is the thing that was meant to be a bracket. That does not look like a bracket. Act on what you want. These two things, get curious, and then act. This first step is recognize. Recognize. I'm an idiot sometimes. Get curious about what you want and act on that, especially when it flies in the face of what others think, what others are telling you, the feedback that you're getting, what society says. Or a rebel without a cause now. Whatever you say goes. Okay, that's not the case. You're not a rebel without a cause. You're a rebel with a cause, and your cause is getting back to yourself and creating a life that you love. Good tagline. So, these are the 3 steps. Recognize that you are not what other people think. Your worth does not lie in their perception or definition of you. That does not define you. Stop identifying with that. Your identity is your own. That may have been the thing that you've identified with, but it is not your identity. Your identity is here. Don't outsource that shit. Keep that in-house. Get curious about what you want and start acting on it. This magic right here is how you build self-trust. It's how you build self-respect. It's how you build self-love. It's how you cultivate a sense of intuition and acting based on what you feel and know is right for you. This, my friend, is how you create a life that you love. Can you see how impactful this can be in your journey and why without this, you may not have the life that you want. You may not have the job, the relationship. You may not live in the place that you want. Start questioning those things. Why? Especially if you have people-pleasing tendencies, and there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. There's no shame in this. This is incredibly common, especially among achievers, because you have been praised, you have succeeded based on what you've output, what you've accomplished, the things that you've done, and that feels fucking good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is no longer serving you, and that's what I want you to realize right here, right now, because we are done with that. No more people pleasing. Start kicking this in the butt. Recognize, get curious, and start acting on it. I'd love to hear about your experiences. I'd love to hear if this was helpful for you. If so, specifically what, please comment down below. I'd love to hear, and give me a like and subscribe if this was helpful. Share it with your friends too. I'm a newbie here. This is an early video for me. I would love your support. So please, if this is something that was helpful and you think could be helpful to somebody else, share it. I would very much be appreciative of that. Appreciative. I know the English language. But otherwise, thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next vid.